What was Julia Gillard thinking when she invited Kyle Sandilands over to Kirribilli House? Is she the only one who doesn't see what a hypocrite she is? Love him or hate him, Kyle Sandilands has got a track record for making tasteless comments about women. He's described a female journalist on air as a fat slag, a fat bit of thing, a little troll. The journalist's only crime was to criticise Kyle Sandilands' TV show. Kyle's response was to name the female journalist on air and verbally bash the living daylights out of her. He even commented on the size of her breasts. Kyle Sandilands also found himself in a world of trouble, quite rightly too, after quizzing a 14-year-old girl about being raped on air. He's been disciplined several times for his poor form, particularly towards women. Everyone knows this, including Julia Gillard. But yesterday, the Prime Minister, who's told us she will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny, had Kyle and his crew over for an Easter egg hunt at the Prime Minister's official residence, Kirribilli House. That's right, the Prime Minister, who promises to call out sexism wherever she sees it, was happy to make an exception yesterday. Why? Well, Julia Gillard won't admit this, but it's all about ratings and trying to win votes. Kyle Sandilands has got a huge radio audience. Lots of young people tune in. There's no doubt about that. And Julia Gillard wants a slice of the action. Now, this is not an attack on Kyle Sandilands. I have ripped into Kyle in the past after he made those comments I've just referred to. This is a reality check for Julia Gillard because the Prime Minister is a hypocrite. She's happy to call out Tony Abbott for being a misogynist without providing any evidence to back up that allegation. But when it comes to Kyle Sandilands, she ignores the evidence that is there on tape for everyone to listen to. Now, I'm not going to replay the infamous lie detector stunt where he embarrassed a 14-year-old girl who'd been sexually abused, but I want to remind you what he had to say about that female journalist who bagged his TV show.
Some fat slag on Telegraph website, news.com.au, branded it a disaster.
A disaster?
You can tell by reading the article she just hates us and always hated us. What a fat bit of thing you are. You're deputy editor of an online thing. That's enough. You got a nothing job anyway. Just so you know, you're a piece of deputy editor of news.com.au online. Alison, I can tell you're supposed to be impartial, you little troll. You're a bull artist, girl. That's what you are. You should be fired from your job. And your hair's very 90s.
Oh, they put a picture of her?
Yeah, and your blouse. You haven't got that much to be having that low-cut blouse. Change your image, girl, and watch your mouth, or I will hunt you down.
Change your image, girl, and watch your mouth, or I will hunt you down. This is the bloke who was given special access to Kirribilli House yesterday. So what did the Prime Minister have to say to Kyle Sandilands yesterday? Well, I don't know, but I bet it was nothing like this.
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not. And the government will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. Not now, not ever. The Leader of the Opposition says that people who hold sexist views and who are misogynists are not appropriate for high office. Well, I hope the Leader of the Opposition has got a piece of paper and he is writing out his resignation. Because if he wants to know what misogyny looks like in modern Australia, he doesn't need a motion in the House of Representatives, he needs a mirror.
That was the attack on Tony Abbott, a man who is not a misogynist, and I know for a fact that Tony Abbott's daughters, his wife, his sister, his staff were seriously cut by those comments. She defames Tony Abbott, the Prime Minister, without a shed of proof, but rolls over for Kyle Sandilands on the lawns of Kirribilli House and allows him into the official residence of Prime Minister dressed up as an Easter bunny. And she uses charity as her defence. You see, there were kids there from Bear Cottage. So the PM uses those sick kids as a human shield to fend off any criticism about her judgment. The Prime Minister's judgment is appalling. The Prime Minister's principles are like a windsock. They blow in the breeze. And let's remember why Julia Gillard made that misogyny speech in the first place. It's important to remember why she said that. The media had just got hold of disgusting text messages sent by her captain's pick speaker, Peter Slipper. The Slipper text messages were front page news that very day, where he was referring to women's genitals. Really crook stuff, disgusting text messages. And that's who Julia Gillard wanted as Speaker, Peter Slipper. She's happy to accept the vote of Craig Thompson. She's happy to promote Peter Slipper. She's happy to have Kyle Sandilands over for an Easter egg hunt, but she lectures Tony Abbott about misogyny. Prime Minister, you are a disgrace. Your hypocrisy shows no bounds, and your ruthless pursuit of votes has no class nor standards, and your judgment is absolutely appalling.